This week's TLDR comes from Martina, who wants to talk about being sick in Korea because guess who's sick in Korea right now?
Poopy.
Somebody feels very poopy. Martina has a very, very bad cold, so we're at home today. We're filming our TLDR here, and we're going to tell you about
Stop
healthcare.
yelling at me.
We're going to talk about healthcare and other things you need to know about health in Korea.
Igo apa.
Igo appa.
Appa.
This hurts. Appa is the key
Appa.
word you're gonna need to know. This hurts.
Moksal.
Moksal is what we eat at the grilling restaurant.
Mokapa. 콩물. Mani apa. Apa.
Martina's a really big sissy today. And the thing is, I'm getting sick right now. Also, I feel my eyes burning and my throat starting to swell. But I've got the attitude of like, well, I'm getting sick anyway, so might as well just enjoy my free time while I still have it.
Okay, so being sick in Korea can kind of suck because anything that you're used to.
Keep going. That's the whole point. We're supposed to cough while we're doing this.
Anything that you're used to from your home that's comforting, like chicken noodle soup or like maybe your mom cooking something for you, you're not going to find that here.
No.
So I'm actually, in the background, I'm actually making juk.
Which is supposedly the health food of choice whenever you have a cold. Juk is pretty much like really, really boiled down rice into like a soup. It's like chickeny. It's like chicken noodle soup. It's like chicken rice soup.
Well, if that's what you want to make it as, but it's also for babies. For babies, old people, and sickness.
Guess who's a sick old baby right now, here.
I'm making myself chicken juke. Okay, anyways, so let's say we want to talk about something like healthcare. So,
oh boy, that's exciting.
Hey, if you come to move to Korea and you're gonna live here and you actually have an employer who's paying for your healthcare, it's usually 50% coverage or a little bit more, but it's not like Canada where blessed, awesome Canada.
Yes.
Where healthcare for everyone. So when we were teaching, we used the hospital several times. I say hospital and not doctor's office because most foreigners that are living here don't go through the effort of getting like a personal doctor. So we usually check into hospitals when we're sick, and it's not like you're not gonna wait in a hospital for hours. Like a hospital means you're probably guaranteed an English speaker at the front desk who can help you. Then from there it gets really confusing, so thank God for having that person around. They'll take you from like corner to corner to place all over the hospital.
It's not like you go into a waiting room and then like the doctor comes in. It's like there are a whole bunch of different wings and they'll just like allocate you to a wing. Like this is the throat wing. Now the thing is, when you go to a hospital, not everything is going to be paid for you, so you will, even though you have health coverage, you're going to have to pay a little bit afterwards, but it's not a lot of money. Now a few years ago I had this incredible pain in my groin when I tried to stand up. I couldn't like be more than like this many degrees. If I tried to stand up straight, I felt a lot of pain in my groin, so I went to the hospital for it, and then they're like, looks like you have kidney stones. So they did an ultrasound like, oh, you don't have kidney stones. Turns out that your appendix is about to explode and you could die in half an hour if you don't go into surgery right away. So I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. So I called Martina right away, like, you have to leave your school right now and come to the hospital because I might die and this might be the last time that we ever speak. So she came to the hospital and then they did a test on me, a giant CT scan. Like they put dye in my blood and it was a really fancy pants machine. And then the test turned out that, oh, I'm totally fine. I just have a pulled groin. So they gave me a slap on the ass and they sent me home. All these tests, I like how they start with like the worst diagnosis and they work their way down.
Like,
all these tests and all the medicine that they want to give me afterwards only cost me like $120.
So even if people don't have healthcare, which we've had happen before, like friends or family that visit,
$200.
$200, like for something big, like using a machine, like an MRIs or like having your ankle casted, because I didn't have health coverage at that time.
Right.
All of that can cost you under $100, so that's pretty good.
So even though Korea has a lot of technology when it comes to the medical industry, it's not very expensive for you to use.
Yeah. Now, if you're staying at the hospital altogether, there's like all these fancy pants rooms that you can rent, which you've probably seen from Korean dramas, because I remember people asking us before for TLDRs, are all Korean hospitals decked out with like TVs and like all these crazy things in the rooms?
Those are the swanky hospitals that you go to if you're like Samsung or LG or balling in some way. But we, unfortunately, are not so balling, so we cannot tell you what those experiences are like.
Although, the University Hospital in Bucheon, we kept wondering why everyone was so hot. All the workers.
It looked like it was a set of like a drama hospital.
No, I was gonna say.
Like, are there cameras here? Like, and everyone's
the
just
doctors,
like waving their hair.
Good-looking young hair, and then we found out later on
it's a university hospital,
so people are training.
Like young, attractive people.
Which sucks because when you break your ankle and you go somewhere, you've got like hairy, dirty, shaved legs, and the doctor's like, "Hi, can I help you? And I'm like, I don't want you, I want the old guy.
No, what's really cool about the medicine that you get is that you don't get like a bottle of all the medicine. They pretty much give you like little baggies with your serving that you're supposed to take. So if you're supposed to have medicine with your meal, they'll give you a little package of the medicine that you're supposed to take at that meal.
So you get this like strip. It looks like it looks like condoms.
It looks like a condom package.
Exactly.
Like this whole strip of like little like
pre-packaged
squares, but they're all filled with lots of medicine in them.
Yeah, and the only thing that concerns us is that the first time you get medicine, like, here, take these. It's like 20,000 pills.
And every package has like 7 different pills in them. And it turns out when you ask them what it is, they'll give you really strong medicine, and they will also give you medicine to prevent the nausea that you will get from that strong medicine.
Yeah. So honestly, it's really hard for us to take medicine in Korea because even though the pharmacist speaks English or the doctor speaks English, no one really breaks down all the pills that you're taking.
I want to know what medicine I'm taking.
Yeah, so we don't really take a lot of medicine to begin with. So to get a package of like 9 things feels really uncomfortable to me. So we usually just don't end up taking anything. So when we go back home to Canada, we tried to stock up on some of our favorite things like a cough syrup or...
For example, like if you use Buckley's or if you use like Robaxacet or something along those lines, you're not going to find that in Korea. So what I recommend that you do is instead of trying to get that specific name brand, look at the medical ingredients on the back. So for example, if you get like Sudafed all the time for like sinus infections, the actual ingredient is pseudoephedrine. So make sure you remember that, because when you bring that to Korea, you could ask the pharmacist for pseudoephedrine. They won't have it as Sudafed as a brand that you know.
And they'll give you the Korean version of it, which is very cheap. It's usually like every box of medication usually costs us between $2 to $6.
I've never spent like $20 on medicine here at all. Everything is like so small and so cheap.
Now, one thing that you might have to watch out for, depending on if you grew up with it or not, is that despite Korea having like super great technology in the hospitals and like having medicine that works, they always try to sneak in some natural herbal medicine. And then
Medicine? Thank you,
And out of all the medicine I've had, only one has ever worked nicely for me. The rest of them made me really sick. And maybe...
if you ever complain about having stomach pain, you go to a pharmacy, they're
give
going to
you
give
these
you these like bottles of like liquid, herbal, poison, vomit-inducing nastiness. Maybe Asian people are okay with it, but whenever I tried, it's like, whoa.
It made it worse for us, yeah.
You get it really bad.
Do you remember when I took that weird package, you rip it off the end and you just take down this package, and it felt like it was filled with little grains, and then later on I threw it up.
Yes,
and
because the little grains, they expand into jelly. So when you throw up, you're throwing up delicious jellies instead.
Okay,
Brilliant.
I wouldn't say they were delicious. I just threw up a stream of soft bubble tea. I was just like...
And you know what? They also have medicine that makes you throw up rainbows when you're happy.
Okay, but I don't think that medicine was supposed to make me throw up is the point. The point is that it was evil medicine.
Anyhow, we're going to tell you some more stories about this on our blog, so make sure you click on the link here to check it out. And if you want to leave any sympathy comments for Martina, the big sissy baby, or for me, because I'm going to be a sissy baby in a few days when I get Martina's cold.
But you're going to get the second strain. It won't be as bad.
So that's it for this week's TLDR. If you have a question for next TLDR, leave a question in the comment section below. Let's hear your line.
Or check out the questions already asked and you can thumb them up to bring them to our attention.
And don't forget to subscribe for more TLDRs where Martina's going to be a whiny sissy baby and we're going to snuggle on our couches with coffees and blankets. Yesterday, Martina was like, hey, my nose is breathing really hot air. You want to feel it? And she brought my arm up to her, and then she started breathing on it, and then she snotted all over my arm.
It was an
gross.
accident.
Do you want to feel my hot air and my hot snotty boogies?
It was an accident.
That's what marriage does to you. 6 years of marriage. Snot on the arms.
It was an accident.